to this episode of Doctor Who Devotee, and we're going through Season 9 of Doctor Who, which might be a surprise to you since last week was Season 8, but the thing was, since, you know, a fortnight ago I didn't do Doctor Who Devotee because I had a lot of plays going on at the same time, so I was performing in 2 plays a day, which meant I had no time to edit, and that meant that Season 8 came out last week, but was supposed to come out a fortnight ago. Yeah. Now that we sorted that out, I just want to say before I start this episode that this will be the last episode of Doctor Who Devotee shot in this room that I'm sitting in, because I'm moving out pretty soon. Well, actually, since it's the 6th of June now, I actually have moved out yesterday, but since I filmed this one ahead, I decided to say that I haven't moved out yet, but this was just confusing. I'm just gonna shut up and get into the season. Okay, so Season 9 ran from, let's see here, the 1st of January 1972 up until the 24th of June 1972, so it ran for the first half of the year 1972 pretty much. It consisted of 5 stories and a total of 26 episodes, and those episodes were divided into 5 stories, which are the following. Let's see here, get out the first one. Day of the Daleks. The first Dalek story since the Patrick Troughton era, and well, pretty much in since it was 1972, I think the last one was like back in 1968 or something, so it was a pretty long while before the Daleks returned to the screen, and well, Day of the Daleks wasn't the best. It was actually a script done by Louis Marks, which was had potential, but it wasn't a Dalek story to begin with. So the Daleks were added to the story because Terrence Dicks and Berletts wanted a Dalek story. So it isn't the best one. This one even was so bad, actually, according to a lot of people. It's well voted for some that it was the worst Dalek story ever. So they made the Day of the Dalek Special Edition, which is disc 2 on the regular edition. And the thing with the special edition is that it's a new shot version that still has, of course, the original footage, but some new footage taken on the same location with the same type of cameras, and being inserted into the video, and it's better special effects, and the Dalek voices have been replaced and is done by Nicholas Briggs instead, you know, who does the Dalek voices in the new series. Yeah, so that's what I can say about this one. Let's see here, then we're going on to this box set, Peladon Tales, which has the 2 Peladon stories, which also are really great stories. Actually, the Curse of Peladon is like the first, okay, maybe the second because Inferno was good, but I think that the Curse of Peladon is like my favorite story from the 3rd Doctor era. I really like the Peladon Tales overall, because it's fun that they revisit the same place, and it has the Ice Warriors, and I like the Ice Warriors. And the Ice Warriors actually was recently seen in The Seeds of Death, which was back in Season 6. So, the Curse of Peladon, where they visit the planet Peladon and the kingdom, and actually it features a character played by David Troughton, the son of Patrick Troughton. So, you need to get the Peladon Tales to get this story, Curse of Peladon. By the way, this is story number 60, Day of the Daleks, and it contains 4 episodes, I forgot to say that, and this is story number 61, and it contains 4 episodes as well. So let's put this one up here, like that. Let's put that one in front of that, something like that, yeah. And get out the next story, which is actually up here in a box set you probably already got if you wanted to get the complete season 7 because it's the beneath the surface box set, and this one also in the middle here contains Doctor Who and the Silurians from season 7, and also it contains the Sea Devils, which is a story which has the return of the Master. He hasn't been seen since the last season, which was a season where he was in every story. So this is the return, and he's in prison, and well, it's a really good story, though it's a bit long. It's a 6-parter, story number 62. But yeah, it features the sonic screwdriver, and it's used for something that isn't ridiculous, like some of the stories today that is like, oh, it's a magic wand. Instead, it's used, the sonic frequency is used to make mines explode in a minefield, so I think it's pretty clever use of it. Yeah, pretty nice story. Let's put this one up here and get on to the next one, which is the Mutants, which is up here. 6-part story, story number 63. This one. And the Mutants, well, I don't know what to say much about the Mutants. It's basically they arrive at a planet which is inhabited by this colony, or what you should call it, and the problem is that some people from Earth came there and are trying to put oxygen on the planet, which isn't breathable maybe to the people living on the planet. Yeah, that's pretty much how I can explain the story of this one. Yeah. Also, let's see here, it was actually directed by no, it was Christopher Barry, not Barry Letts. I was almost saying something wrong here. Actually, Barry Letts didn't direct any stories for this one. I thought he usually directed one story for each season, but Barry Letts didn't direct anything for that season. Okay, let's get to the last one, which is in a big box set containing 3 stories, out of which only one is a story featuring the 3rd Doctor, and that story is, let's see if I can get it out of here, it's called Myth and Legends box set, and it contains the story The Time Monster, which also is a story that features the Master. And well, it's one of few times that you see the TARDIS, because I think it's only used, the inside of the TARDIS is, I think, only used in this particular story, because yeah, no, I don't know why I'm saying because so much. Yes, no, I'm saying because the Doctor still had some trouble with his TARDIS, because he's still exiled to Earth and didn't have all the knowledge of time traveling, because it was stolen from him, or taken away from him by the Time Lords back in the end of season 6. So it actually featured travels in the TARDIS, because the Time Lords allowed him to travel in it. And it's a 6-parter as well. And story number 64. Also, the reason it's part of the Myth and Legends box set is because, well, it's about legends, so it's about Kronos, sort of timekeeper character. Yeah, that's pretty much how you can explain it. Also, what's interesting is that the TARDIS console in this one they weren't happy with, so it was only used in this particular story. I kind of like that TARDIS look, but well, they didn't, so it was changed for the next season. So, what I haven't mentioned so far is that the entire season 9 features Katie Manning as a companion, and also you can say that Nicholas Courtney as the Brigadier is a companion used in every story, because I think he's in every story this season except the Peladon story. And yeah, and also the Mutants, I think he isn't in either. So, let's put this one down here. So, yeah. Now, these one are gonna get behind me, so I'll rotate the camera a bit like that, so I can just go through these ones now that we've reached 10 minutes. So, story number 60, Day of the Daleks, a 4-parter. Story number 61, The Curse of Peladon, also a 4-parter, which is featured on the Peladon Tales box set. Story number 62, The Sea Devils, a 6-parter, which is featured on the Beneath the Surface box set. And story number 63, The Mutants, a 6-parter as well. And lastly, story number 64, which is The Time Monster, which is featured on the Myths and Legends box set. Yes, that's it for this season, and we're now halfway through the Jon Pertwee era, because Jon Pertwee was the Doctor for 5 years, the longest running Doctor at the time, but he was beaten by his successor, Tom Baker, who was the Doctor for 7 years. So 5 seasons we had of him, and now we've gone through season 7, 8 and 9, which means next time it's 10, and after that it's 11, which is the last season of him. But until we go ahead way too far in the future than we should do, I'll just say, as I usually say at the end of these videos, see you next time. Adios.